Hey, this is Caleb Pike with DSLR Video Shooter, and today I want to show you guys a way you can adjust and clean up a very nasty problem with certain footage you may capture with your HDSLR. One problem with these cameras and certain lighting situations is banding or horizontal banding, and what that is certain light frequencies like fluorescence have a certain frequency, and depending on what shutter speed you're shooting at, you can get these really weird, messed up artifacts that kind of ruin your footage. Here's a clip of a short film we were shooting, and while I play it back real slow, or play it back, you may not notice as much, but there's these bands, these different, almost different colored bars going up and down the screen. One's brown, one's white, and if I scrub it, you can definitely, it pops out quite a lot. So this is incredibly distracting, and it kind of ruins the lighting and the whole makeup of the footage. So while this is something that should be dealt with on camera by either changing your shutter speed and trying some different things to eliminate that, or just lighting it differently, there is a way to kind of clean it up in post, and that's what I'm going to show you guys today. On this particular one, now every clip you do is going to be, different, and but you'll notice on this particular one, we have these white bars and then these brown bars scrolling up and down. The white ones, or the lighter ones, are the natural wall color, and that's what we want to keep, but we want to get rid of all this brown that's scrolling up and down. So what I'm going to do is I want to target just that line in the footage and adjust it to match the rest of the scene. And there's a way to do this, and I'm going to show you that right now. So let me just rearrange my window here. Just snap that right there. Okay, so I'm going to double click my clip, and I'm going to apply a color corrector 3-way. And we're going to click that. There it is. Alright, so what we want to do is, again, we want to target the brown and make it white. So essentially eliminate that nasty brown band, horizontal band line. And how we're going to do this is in the color corrector 3-way. If you look down, you're going to see a limit effect, little drop down. We're going to click on that. And we're given three main options here: your color, saturation, and exposure or luma. And we are going to grab on the little select color. We're going to go over here and click on that brown line right there, and you'll see it's grabbed what it sees as that color. And now what we're going to do is whatever we adjust here, we're essentially trying to target only those lines, and whatever we do with these wheels up here is only going to affect our line down here. So that's where this limit effect comes in, is we want to limit it to the brown line. So the first thing I'm going to do is on the mids, I'm just going to really jack it red all the way up there, and we're going to start to see what it's targeting. And right away you'll notice that the color I grabbed, it's beginning to target, you can see where it's grabbing the two lines, one of which is the top third and one of which is the lower third on where I have, and you'll see if I adjust this, you can see it's starting to try to grab those lines, but it's not getting the whole line. It's only getting around these little halos of light. So we're going to adjust that so that it gets that whole scan line. So the first thing I'm going to do is the luma is I'm going to fully open that. So that way, no matter if it's light or dark, it's going to grab that, and you're starting to see we're getting a lot more in here. But we're beginning to get those lines all the way through, even in these middle sections where there's a lot more light. So that's good. I'm going to go over here and play with some more stuff down there. I think I'm going to expand what color it's going to grab. So you can see right now it's getting a lot of her suit, which is not what I want, and her suit is dark. So if I eliminate some of that lower saturation, that's gone, so that's good. And I mean, you can see you really need to kind of play with it and see what it's going to grab, and keep adjusting it. So right here is pretty close. We're getting that top line, we're getting the upper third and the lower third, and as I scrub, we're going to see how it's starting to target that, and that's what we want. We want to grab that and be able to adjust that. But you'll notice it's very pixely looking and all that, so we're going to, down here under edge thin and softening, we're going to bring up the edge thin a little bit and softening it a lot. Now you can see it's getting a lot of the scenes. That's a little much. I'm going to see if I can target more specific lines. Alright, and there we go. So now we're getting the top line. Now it's in the middle and the low. That depends on where I go here. But we're getting those scan lines. You can clearly see we've targeted it. So that's pretty close right there. You know, you really got to play it by ear, but after fiddling with it a little bit, you should be able to narrow it down to that. And then back over on my color wheels, I'm going to eliminate by clicking this, so all the red's gone, because we had it all the way up here. We don't want that to be the final clip. Next step is to, now that we've limited to those lines, those brown lines, we're now going to make those brown lines not brown, or we're going to essentially blend them in with the rest of the scene. So if I scrub, we still got the brown lines there, and I'm going to grab my color selector on the mids, and I'm going to target the white. And already you can see it blended in. I'm going to undo that so you can see redo, undo, redo. It took that darker mustard brown and brought it up and removed that kind of warm and that greenish yellow look. It's still a little off, so I'm going to bring it closer to the center, make it a little teensy bit warmer. And that's pretty close. Now, you're not going to completely eliminate the effect. Our goal here is to make it blend in and not be distracting, because that's the last thing we want, is for the viewer to be distracted by these nasty bands. So if you can get it close, you'll notice on playback it will not be nearly as obvious. So I'm going to go, now that we've got that done, what you would do is you would export that clip so that you would replace your original footage with the corrected footage. And from there you can begin to grade and do whatever kind of color work you need to, depending on if you're using Final Cut or if you're going to Magic Bullet. You want to get that footage ready, and this is one of those steps. So from here you would export it, and I've already done that and brought it back in. And if I scroll, you still see the lines, but the big difference is when I actually play it back in real time, you can't even tell they're there, because the colors have been adjusted to fit the rest of the scene. So our actress Maggie, you know, it's not. The focus is on our talent, or actress Maggie playing her part here in the short film, and the banding isn't nearly as obvious. And if we go back and just turn this off, you can see there's the before, all those nasty brownish, orangish, mustard look, and then here's the after. We've definitely toned it down a lot. So from here I can begin to grade the footage and not be worrying about various problems I may run into, because the danger of not doing this step is that once you add your color and you add contrast and sharpness, those band lines are going to become even more obvious and distracting. So I found this to work very well. Again, it's just a 3-way color corrector using the limit effect, and hope this has been helpful for you guys. And to stay up to date on all the articles and other tutorials, check out DSLRvideoshooter.com. And we'd love to see you there.